Meantime, we turn to lawyer Brendan Campbell for more on what happened today. Brendan, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk about this. First things first, today's decision, if we're reading this correctly, seems to preclude Bill Cosby from ever being charged again in connection with this case. A jury found him guilty. Is guilt or innocence not in question here? This is technical. Is there any scenario under which he could be tried again, or is he a free man from now on?
Yeah, Brian, he has been discharged permanently from being prosecuted for this particular crime. That's not to say he could not be prosecuted for other victims, but Andrea Constand, at her as a victim, that case cannot be brought ever again against Bill Cosby.
The court took some rare steps here in its wording. It acknowledged how rare and severe this decision was to overturn this conviction. Let's be clear, it's not an exoneration. It's being vacated on process grounds, as I just said. As a lawyer, does this decision surprise you because of the effect?
It's not something that I've ever seen before. Normally on appeals, when they're granted, the case is remanded back to the trial court to retry the case. In this case, they found that because of that agreement between the former DA and Cosby, that he cannot be tried again for this particular crime.
And yet we could perhaps see an appeal on behalf of the Commonwealth. Would have to take this to the Supreme Court. That would seem unlikely to you think?
That's the only remedy that they have at this point. It's very unlikely. A lot of cases are thrown up there and not accepted. I doubt in a case like this that this A would be appealed and B be accepted by the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court.
An incredible end to an incredible saga. I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. Brendan Campbell, attorney and legal analyst, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate that. Stick with Action News for this, the very latest on Bill Cosby's conviction being overturned and his future from here. We've got continuing coverage on air and online at 6abc.com all throughout the evening.